This is the Business Growth Hacks Podcast, presented by Beefy Marketing. Here's your host, Andrew Brockenbush.
John, what's up? It's a weekend, baby.
What's up, man?
Ooh, it's a Friday.
It is a Friday.
It has been a long, busy week.
I just hit fade to black instead of super source.
Fade to black.
It's all good.
Hey, whatever works, man. Fade to black.
So on YouTube, you may or may not see a little section of black there.
Exactly. Sorry.
Depending if I remember to fix it or not.
Oh my gosh. Hey, John, what is the oldest marketing campaign you remember?
Oh man, the first one that comes to mind is the "Where's the Beef?"
Yeah, which is applicable for us. Yeah, exactly.
But man,
we're both 80s babies technically,
I know.
but we both were old enough to remember ads in the 90s.
Right. And I can think of a lot of TV commercials, but I'm trying to think campaign, something that had a lot of print ads that I noticed too.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking back to when I was a kid, it's a little difficult, but I think the Super Bowl commercial with the Budweiser frogs. Because I had a shirt that my uncle gave me because he's an avid Budweiser
I remember
fan.
those shirts. Yeah. They were like white t-shirts.
Yeah, and it just had the frog on it and King of Beers or whatever.
Yeah. You know what Marlboro did as well? Remember
yeah.
those white t-shirts with the big red Marlboro logo?
Fun fact, they actually can't legally make those anymore.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think so. With all they're not allowed to advertise like they were when we were
now
real
they have
young.
to say too, like, hey, this could cause cancer and all that stuff. And a lot of the ads now at the end will say like, hey, we don't encourage smoking, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Well, they have to legally put so much money into quit smoking or quit tobacco campaigns. Yeah.
I was trying to think of other ones. One that just popped to mind, and I could be wrong, so correct me if I am, but was it Wheaties that did the baseball or basketball cards?
Yes.
Remember there was like a lot of athletes
because
on
you
the
wanted
boxes?
to be on the Wheaties box.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember
there was
Wheaties
Olympians. Because I remember when they had the Olympics in America, I think it was in Atlanta. Yeah. When I was a kid.
And Olympics were way bigger of a deal, I feel like, when we were kids because...
I think part of it was because we did host them here.
That's right. And we watched on TV as a family. There wasn't as much accessibility via the phone.
Right. And my mom actually had a business trip to Atlanta during that time and went to Coca-Cola and all that. So for me,
that's cool.
It was kind of like, I was there.
Yeah. I remember all the Frosted Flakes commercials, like, Tony the Tiger. They're great. There was a lot with that. I mean, it was like the box was very iconic and there was print media for that.
I mean, how many cereal commercials were there on a Saturday morning?
Yeah.
You remember the crazy, what was it? Corn Pops? The
yeah.
crazy guy that would go nuts.
What's the marshmallow cereal? Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
The little
Magically Delicious.
Magically Delicious. Yeah. That was a good one. That's funny to actually have never thought about the fact that there were a lot of cereal commercials.
A lot of cereal commercials.
Kids commercials were a bigger deal back then.
You know what's funny too? I don't see as many cereal commercials now, but I buy those cereals for my kid. What did they do?
It was psychologically?
What did they do to me?
They programmed your DNA, bro.
They knew me.
Yeah, chocolate like Cocoa Krispies. And,
Rice Krispies, the Snap Crackle Pop.
Snap Crackle Pop, dude.
Yeah.
This is bizarre. Fruit Gushers, like
the kid's their head turns into the fruit and explodes.
Okay, so for those of you that follow us on YouTube, it's Beefy Marketing. You can look up Business Growth Hacks and it should show up. But we'll drop some of our favorite 90s ads up as a part of the video because there's just so many good ones that like come to mind for me.
I know.
Where's the cream filling? Introducing new Fruitomic Punch Gushers with a taste that's gonna drive you fruity. It's very, very different. And totally appealing. It's new Fruitomic Punch Gushers, the fruit snack bursting the juicy fruit punch in the middle.
Ball of Pine Sol Cleaner.
2.
Keep going.
3.
Nope.
4.
More.
5.
5.
That's no bargain.
You're so smart, just like your mother.
Well, there's a computer. It makes it so easy. You're up and running in 10 minutes, and you're still yourself. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to talk in that language. You have a computer, but you're not a computer person. Relax.
Face it, you're either on one end of a Nerf weapon or the other.
Nerf was a bigger deal. Like Nerf, all the cool Nerf commercials. I'm trying to think because I feel like there are.
And it also makes me wonder, am I just older now so I don't notice those ads?
I don't feel like we can skip technology's changed.
100%.
Back then when we were consuming content, you weren't consuming it from your phone. There was no phones when we were kids.
No.
It was coming, but it was not
It was attached to the wall in the house.
That's right. Exactly. We were just talking about this the other day. And so I think that we were sitting there. There wasn't 10 streaming services that you could be a part of either.
Yeah.
I mean, to watch TV was like
limited options.
3, 13, 11,
13, 11, 26
for video games
and 20.
Exactly.
And then at nighttime, something happened at nighttime and you could get 40 something.
Oh yeah. 40.
51 came out eventually.
And 55 was like the old.
But yeah, there was
TVs.
only like 4 or 5 channels when I first started growing up.
And then cable kind of started coming out more popular.
Yeah.
And then you had Cartoon Network and they had their own set of commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that are just like iconic to me. That I mean, there was great Apple commercials at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they used to have the Apple commercials that were all epic, like the larger than life type
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Because
Yeah.
I watched Scary Movie 4 the other day and they made fun of the iPod commercial.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the one where it
Yes.
dropped? Yeah.
Oh, there was also all the Apple versus PC commercials. Do you remember those?
Yeah. Hi, I'm a PC.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
And I'm a Mac. And Justin Long played the Mac.
that's funny.
And he went on to become an actor.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's some great commercials out there. So today we're going to be talking about traditional marketing
in the digital
age. And I've got some statistics to share with you because we do that every single time.
I love statistics
too. I mean, it kind of just, it's like, hey, look, what we're about to talk about, it's legit.
Yeah.
It validates everything we're about to say.
Yeah.
So even if what we say is dumb, we started with something.
This is smart.
We started with somebody who was smart.
Yeah.
50% of traditional marketing has little to no audience interaction.
Wow.
That's weird to me because I feel like, I don't know if that statistic would have been true.
Yeah.
10, 15, 20 years ago.
Well, think about what we just talked about. We obviously had some sort of interaction.
No, we were in,
because we remember those things.
Yeah, I remember wanting, okay.
But I wonder if they mean interaction like it, the interactive,
just the ability
like
to
interactive.
Truly interact.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, do you remember Lugs?
Yes.
The shoes?
Yeah.
And then there was that magazine, and I can't remember what it was called, that you would get in the mail, and it had all the shoes that you could buy. I know it's like tip of my tongue. It's all good. There was commercial like that. And I know for me, it was like when I watched that commercial, it was like, oh, sports.
Journeys?
No, it wasn't Journeys. I'm never going to remember. It's okay. I remember though getting the catalog and like wanting to get like, different pairs of shoes just because of how cool the whole commercials were. I can't. Sports Bay. I don't even know if that's a thing. I can't remember. LimeWire? You remember? That's totally different. But do you remember they had commercials? You're like, that's not shoes, but
that's not shoes, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's another stat. 25% of marketers say traditional marketing's biggest drawback is the high cost. Now that we both know to be true.
100%. Because physical things, there's a cost to a physical thing.
Yeah.
A car costs what a car costs because
yeah. And you think about billboards, there's a huge sign that has to be printed.
Well, and even if you were to hand paint it, the amount of paint and time it would take, you'd have to hire an artist. Like you have to think physical things require physical things to be done.
That's right. Yeah.
And it requires more effort. Yeah.
Any of that traditional television ads, radio ads.
It's going to take money out of your wallet to do something physical. Digitally, you can kind of do things for the appearance of free anyway.
Yeah.
With things you've already paid for, i.e. your computer, your internet, things of that nature.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've done an episode all about how sales has changed.
Yeah.
And if you haven't listened to that episode, I think it's really impactful.
Probably should go back. Yeah.
Go check that one out. Not right this second. Listen to this
one.
No,
finish this one first.
Keep listening.
You don't need that. It's not a prerequisite course to this.
Yeah, exactly. But now we need to talk about marketing and obviously how it's changed. And I think for most of us, we've seen the transition.
Yeah. Especially in our lifetime, as we were just talking.
I mean, we are those, Marcus always says it on the other podcast we're working on. He always talks about how the fact that we're these in-betweeners.
Right.
Where we would be okay without technology.
Right.
Whereas the new generation probably would not be.
Yeah.
Because we had both. Half of our young lives, we did not have any of it.
Right.
And then I'd say from 13, 14 and older, we started getting introduced to it. Mm-hmm. And then there was just this huge fast shift.
Oh, yeah.
It happened
I think
fast.
When I graduated high school, it was overnight tech companies were blowing up out of nowhere. Google was becoming a real thing worth money, real money.
I remember when the first iPhone dropped, and I was just like, at the time, I didn't think it was a big deal.
I didn't think iPhone was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, it was just like, okay.
It wasn't until about iPhone 3 that I was like, the whole world is about to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the technology
it was just rapidly
evolving.
Advancing, evolving. You're right.
And Apple, they do a damn good job of convincing you that you need it.
Yeah.
Which is why you have a Mac and an iPhone and an iPad and an Apple Watch. It's like all of a sudden we've Apple has brainwashed all of us with incredible advertising, the power of psychology.
We need them to work together.
Yeah. Like we always, everybody picks on me in the office because I'm always like the ecosystem, it works so well. And everybody's like, ecosystem. But it's true.
I mean,
once you have all the devices,
I just changed from a Samsung to the iPhone 13 and the streamline ability between my computer and my phone, I can do so much more. Not that my Samsung could not connect to my computer and do things. It's just easier. It's one touch.
It's just like our other John. Whenever he got when he got hired, I remember him specifically telling me, I will never use an Apple product. There's no way in hell.
And I remember telling him, all right, you start editing some
just
stuff
wait.
and then we'll see.
And then we gave him a Mac to use.
Yep.
Then he had some problems with his phone, so he went and got an iPhone because he was like, well, I guess I'll try it.
Yeah.
Well, then he started seeing how well those two connected, so he got an Apple Watch.
I didn't realize he got the watch.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
And now it's like, you are all in, baby. You are Apple.
Check his watch out because I want one now too.
Oh my gosh. It really is impressive just like how integrated our devices have become. And I think that is like,
and how much they influence what we do, our activities daily.
It's funny that you say that. So just earlier I was working out, and for the last few days, and I don't know if it's my fault or if it's my Apple Watch's fault, but when I'm wearing the little, boxing gloves, my Apple Watch is freezing on my workout. It's not freezing, but it's basically pausing, even though it's locked.
Oh, I got you.
And that's not a big deal. Like I can get to the bottom of that and figure it out. But what I was frustrated about is like when I don't close my rings, I'm actually psychologically frustrated. Yeah. I'm like, that workout doesn't count. Even though I just busted ass. Like I just burned 600 calories, but my Apple Watch didn't say I did it.
That look is validation. The graphics, those infographics.
Those circles, closing your rings. You don't realize how powerful that is. For me, like I'm literally going to work out again tonight because I've got to make sure
I close my ring. Yeah.
I don't want to have I don't want to break my streak, because you have these like streaks of like, okay, in 7 days in a row, you closed all your rings.
I know what you're saying. I got mad one time because I had to charge my watch and it was like, you took this many steps today. I was like, that's bull. Cause I walked around and mowed the yard for like 4 hours. And it's like, that's not really. Yeah. I know. I feel the need to justify myself. Yeah, exactly. Like sitting there, just put it on the dog.
So it's weird, like you said, how much it impacts our decisions and our behavior.
Exactly.
And I think that is at the core of the shift we've seen from traditional to digital marketing.
I think it is not at the core. It is but we're saying the same thing. I'm just being more dramatic about it.
Yeah, it is dramatic, John. Dun, dun, dun. Traditional marketing. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Traditional marketing, it typically centers around, product, price, promotion, place.
Big P's.
For example, billboards, that's obviously traditional marketing. Magazines, newspaper,
TV commercials,
radio spots, right? All of that's what I would consider traditional.
Your flyers too.
Flyers. Yep.
Your grocery stores.
Oh yeah. Even on the back of a receipt, flip it over and you got all those little ads and all of that stuff is what I would consider traditional marketing, right?
Yeah, I think traditional is probably anything you can physically touch.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. If you can hold it, you can touch it. If you can, like t-shirt, even I'd say something like a t-shirt or a hat. Traditional marketing was kind of event centered.
It really was. It was your President's Day sale, your Memorial Day sale, Black Friday came out of that. Cyber Monday is kind of one of those things that we've seen the full transition into digital.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always really campaign driven.
Right.
And I feel like even that is starting to change. Like, you still have marketing campaigns, but I feel like it's
more, hey, this is the kind of people we are, buy our product.
Yep.
That is more the statement nowadays.
Yep. And then all of a sudden what happened in the 90s?
Oh man, they started pulling bookshelves out of my public library over there. And they put these things in there called Macintosh computers.
Ooh, I remember I remember vividly being like I think I was at Jones, which was for me 4th grade.
Okay.
And it was considered an intermediate school at the time. It was not an elementary school at the time.
So yes.
And so because I went to so none of our listeners care about this, but I went to Holloman.
Yeah.
From kindergarten to 3rd.
Okay.
I went to Jones for 4th.
Roberts Road.
You went to that Roberts Road. Okay. And then I did 5th and 6th at Schultz.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I did 7th, 8th, junior high.
Yeah.
And then 9th through 12th at the high school. So for me, I went through a lot of schools.
Well, I was a little bit older, so I didn't go through all of them. Well, no, I did, but Jones for me was 5th and 6th grade. I never went to Schultz, but it was my locker room in 7th grade before the field house was finished on the new high school.
So where was junior high for you? 7th and 8th?
It was at the junior high.
Okay, so you had it there as well.
Yeah, but that was the high school for me the year before I went to the junior high there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because the junior high became in our town. Yeah, the junior high became the high school.
Or the high school became the junior high, and they built a new high school. Yes, and they're doing that again right now this fall. Yeah, with an even bigger school.
Oh, that school looks so cool.
Oh yeah, I want to go check out the theater
like,
department.
Can we do a tour, please?
I'll do a.
But you're right. I remember though being all that to say. In 4th grade, there was a tangent.
Yeah, right. That was a rabbit hole.
Just climbed down off the soapbox. 4th grade, I remember sitting there and they were like, we got this big grant and we're getting this computer lab.
See, that's what I was getting to. Yes.
And it was like a computer lab. What's a computer lab? And it was like, we got 10 Macintoshes. And I was like, what is
a Macintosh? Yeah.
I don't know. We hardly knew what computers were.
Right.
We still took typewriting classes, like that was a thing. Like,
and then they start telling me every computer in the world is connected. And what?
Did you had to have taken typewriting too?
Yeah, I did.
I just had this weird moment in my head where I'm thinking no kids now will ever know a typewriter.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, you're right. Like actual typewriting.
We took typewriter and like when we were a little bit older, we ended up taking computer,
typing,
like to type being like, oh my God.
I mean, the computer keyboard kind of derived from the typewriter. There's a lot of similarities, but I mean, there were specific buttons.
We're old, bro.
Backspace exists because it is a typewriter function to move it back a space.
That's right. Back a space.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We
old.
We old.
Anyway.
But anyways, here we go again. I think a lot of times, when there's that big change, we start to see, I think when we were young, we kind of started seeing a potential.
Right.
Right. It's like, okay, what is this? Like, what's this about? This is kind of exciting.
Right. I remember there was a shift for me. My first initial contact with the internet and technology was, I guess, because being from a small town, it was, this is too much. This is something we don't need. Scary Big Brother, stuff like that. They'll be able to watch everything we do and things like that. But then there was a shift for me as I realized how beneficial it was. How much it could help do things, how much it could connect people. And then,
I wish I would have fully embraced what it was going to do. Like I was smart enough to understand like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think at the time I was fully aware of how big it was going to be.
See, I did. That's kind of why I got into web design
early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
I was also interested in it.
Yeah.
It was just cool to me. It was a new thing that was probably going to be the future.
Yeah.
I might as well learn this. This is the way things are going,
That's so cool, man. Like, cause I like regret a lot of those, like, cause again, we've talked about this in some other episodes, but like MySpace was like a new thing for us when we were in high school. Yeah. And like, that was where we kind of got our feet wet in coding and the digital, what was coming next.
Right. Yeah.
But even then it still felt so like playful. It felt like, oh, this is just for fun.
It's not a money making device. I remember when YouTube was making people money and I thought, what?
Yeah, like how, why? Just posting videos online.
And then you start looking into it and being in marketing, working at a marketing agency at the time, it was like, hey, we need to start doing this or we're going to miss out,
Yeah. And I think that right there was the journey that would eventually become this digital marketing age. And, now it's more powerful than ever. Right?
Yeah. I mean, and it's
all
only
of our devices
growing.
are connected.
Yeah. It's only growing more so and more so,
Yeah. And you know what digital marketing is. Like anybody that's listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
Facebook,
you're probably
Instagram.
using it on your phone.
Right. Exactly.
So digital.
If you're using any social media app, digital marketing. If you're getting any ad.
If you're listening to a podcast at all,
digital marketing is in your vocabulary.
So
absolutely.
I guess we should talk a little bit about digital versus traditional.
Yeah.
And which one you should pick.
Okay. So in my opinion, they're both great. And I think that that's really a big part of this conversation today. I think a lot of times people are one or the other, and they're strongly opinionated about that.
Because traditional is the only way, or digital is the only way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's a waste. That's a waste.
Yeah.
One of the other, right?
And I think anything that is too extreme left or right is unbalanced.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
You know, obviously digital reaches a wider audience.
Yeah.
You know, where traditional reaches typically a more targeted local audience.
But let's say your goals.
Yeah.
You run a lawn care company.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care about promoting your business worldwide?
Yeah.
Or do you care about promoting it on your block?
That's exactly right. And I think that goes back down to understanding your customer persona, your demographic.
Yeah.
When we help brands decide where they should spend money and where they should advertise and, you know, all that stuff, it comes back to, did you do that brand discovery? Did you do your customer persona?
Yeah.
Once you understand where your ideal customer spends their time, invest their money, you know how to advertise to them, right? And that's how we can make those decisions whether or not traditional is a good fit.
Right.
Actually, just I think it was Tuesday, we did a big branding onboarding, a big branding project we're doing. Was it Tuesday? Okay. And one of the first things that as a team we discovered with the client was they're spending a lot of money on old traditional advertising.
Right.
And based on the demographic that we discovered with them that they have, it's a waste of money for them.
Wow.
At least in the way that they're currently doing it, right?
Gotcha.
Doesn't mean that traditional would not work.
It's just the way, the avenues that they're currently using.
Their customers are not there.
Let's equate it to this. All of your fans are at the beach and you're putting signs up at the lake.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, now digital can be, okay, this one's a loaded one because digital can be more cost effective because it is more hyper targeted.
I got you. You're not,
right?
It's not shotgun. Yeah.
But it can also be expensive, right? Because you are competing with a lot more people.
Well, and there's people out there with very large budgets in the digital space.
That's right.
But
and
you're dealing with that in traditional marketing as well.
I think traditional marketing, you obviously can do things that are going to create more personal connections. You know?
Yes, I think so too. Because, you know, an email is not nearly as personal. If someone sent you a letter, wow, they really care.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if I stop by your office.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's like that, because I consider that even traditional, like cold calling and, you know, like outside sales.
Stopping by is way big because, hey, I'm here in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, I was in the area.
So, I can't wait to get to the talk about like bridging these two. But, right.
I know. I'm like trying to pull this. Don't say it.
Don't
say it yet. Yeah.
You know, obviously, the biggest thing about digital, I think, is that you have a better overview of ROI.
Absolutely. I think it's better tracking.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It's more accurate tracking and real-time data. I think that's the biggest thing. With traditional, you can get that data back, but it's not.
It's harder. Like a great example would be Facebook ads versus a postcard mailer.
Absolutely.
Okay, I send out 1,000 postcards and I send them 3 months in a row to the same exact audience because one, I know that most of the people are most likely going to just chunk the first postcard and chunk the second postcard.
Yep, and they might read
the third version. Yeah, right. And so in that, you know, I'm just hoping that someone calls me from that postcard and I say, "Hey, how did you hear about me?" And they say, "Oh, I got your postcard in the mail."
Right.
But it might be until someone calls me that I'll know how that performed.
So, and some people, they'll take like a file folder and throw all these little cards in there for businesses. And when they need it, they'll go access.
So it could be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the road before you know how it performed. Where with Facebook ads, you see how many people, you see how many impressions it had.
Yep.
How many people clicked on it.
Right.
How many people actually converted or purchased or submitted a form.
Or they
whatever
completed
the
action. Yeah.
Right. And so like there's a lot faster, you know, tracking, which is good because that's a money saver.
Oh yeah.
If I can quickly assess whether or not something's working or not, I can quickly adjust strategy.
Well, you're going to waste more time or money in traditional media just because of the nature of the time it takes to figure out, are people seeing this or not?
Yeah. You know, when you think about Facebook ads, you can do a lot of A/B testing.
Oh yeah. Do you like this or this?
Yeah. It's like, let me show 2 ads with a little bit different colors, a little different messaging, maybe a different photo to the same audience set.
Right.
And the first 1,000 people that see it, if 800 visited, you know, A out of the A/B set, then I'm going to stop running money to the B set.
Exactly.
Which means my money is being better spent because that's the one that people responded to.
That's an ad people are clicking on.
Right.
Right. Or if they're not really responding to either one, I'm going to pull them both down and redesign the ad.
That's right. But if you commit to a 3-month direct postcard mailer
or ad placement in a big magazine
or a billboard.
Yeah, you've
committed the money.
Yeah,
and there's no changing it.
Right.
Not
without
the
spending more
done.
money.
That's right. Not spending more money. So I love that about digital, right?
Yeah.
The ability to truly A/B test and kind of track performance in a very instantaneous way.
It does allow more of a marketer's playground.
Yeah.
Can we see, does this work or not?
I think digital also offers 24/7 exposure.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Your website being your salesman or your storefront that's open for you 24 hours a day.
Yeah, the same thing with social ads. I mean, like, maybe I'm not driving in a car in the middle of the night to look at a billboard, but I might be at home watching a video or listening to a podcast or scrolling on social media. And all of a sudden, what's interesting is like everything that's digital, it was traditional and it's just now digital.
Right. It's the same concept. It's just in a different form.
Instead of your billboard being on the side of the highway, your billboard is
on the side of your feed,
the side of your news feed, right?
It's
the same
in
thing.
your news feed. And now they're realizing that, organic content's even more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to reach an older demographic, traditional marketing could be effective.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier with the client that we onboarded this week. We found that their market is completely ineffective. But if who you're trying to market to, they don't get on the internet,
that's right.
Then you don't want to go 100% digital with your marketing. Yes, for new market, you probably want to start that avenue because I guarantee you that older avenue, I don't mean to be morbid, but it's going to go away.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There's starting to be a kind of a change of,
it will transition.
Yeah, exactly. It's already happened.
Change is the only thing inevitable.
Yeah. I think too with traditional marketing, it typically works really well for branding, like brand awareness.
Yes.
So it's like when I tell somebody like, hey, they come to me and say, we want to run a billboard. It's like, okay, can you tell me a little bit more about why you want to run a billboard?
Yeah. What do you want to get out of it?
What do you want to get out of it? Yeah. And if they're like, oh, we want to get people to visit the website. It's like, okay, we can do that, but I don't want to guarantee that that's the return you're going to get on this. Yeah. People are going so fast. They've got 1,000 things in their mind. They might catch a glimpse of it. It's pretty unlikely that they're going to do it.
If you're putting more than 2 words on a billboard, I think you're wasting your money.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that billboards serve a couple of different things very well. Branding, just like, so for example, like a big brand awareness campaign for Rolex or for Coca-Cola or Southwest Airlines, because it's just top of mind. When you go to think about booking tickets for a travel, maybe you don't realize it, but you've seen 1,000 Southwest billboards and you're like, oh yeah, Southwest Airlines, Travelocity, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's good branding, right? I think it's also really good for what I would consider like directional or signage aspect.
Yes.
So if you've got a water park or a theme park or a museum or a music venue, a billboard might be really good because it provides some level of visibility to where people can go to find it.
Right.
Buc-ee's, the huge Texas gas station.
Yeah. 215 miles to your next brisket.
That's right. Like they work really well for traditional billboard campaigns.
Well, you know what that does? If I'm a mile past Buc-ee's and I see a billboard that says 215 miles to the next clean bathroom,
you're like,
turn that bad boy around and go back to Buc-ee's. Yeah.
They're creating this traditional sense of urgency. Or a scarcity or whatever, by saying, hey, look, something to look forward to. 10 miles up is the best barbecue in Texas.
Exactly.
And,
like,
the nicest bathrooms.
Something to look forward to.
It's like, okay, like that sounds cool. Like, let's wait to go to that gas station.
How many Texans probably plan road trips now based on Buc-ee's?
Oh, they totally do.
You know where they all are.
I know where all the Buc-ee's stops are. And they're finally starting to get out of Texas. So,
and how many times you've been driving along? Oh, well, there's a Buc-ee's here now. Exactly.
Beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
Totally true, man. And so I think that from a directional signage perspective, billboards are a great format.
I think they still work. And zip it.
You got so many thoughts. I know.
I'm trying to hold them all back.
I think that both traditional and digital ads can be skipped. I don't think that there's one that outperforms better there.
I don't think so either. Like, because even your YouTube ads, you can skip right through them. And TV ads is what I was thinking of.
Sure. Yeah.
My uncle, how he watches TV, he turns on the show he wants to watch, it hits pause and goes and does whatever little errand around the house he needs to do. Then he'll come sit down and watch the show so he can skip all the commercials.
Yeah. Now, I will say though, with digital, you could be more targeted in your approach.
100%.
Going back to that Rolex example, if you drive down Highway 6 here in Texas between Highway 290 and down Highway 6 towards College Station, there's like 6 Rolex billboards. Okay. They've done some research. They know that the people that are driving that path of highway have money. but not everybody does.
No.
So, but they're still, it doesn't matter. They did the best targeting they could.
Right.
And everybody that drives down that road is going to see that billboard, regardless if they can afford a Rolex
Right.
or not. I looked up the price of a Rolex. Can't afford a Rolex.
Well, they're like starting like 1,200.
More than that.
More than that, dang.
Yeah, because I was like,
That's been a
I was
few
like, it'd be
years.
kind of cool to get a Rolex,
Yeah.
like just for like, you know, just cause.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of these people that needs like fancy name brand stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, the Rolex billboard worked on me. Like, how much do they
wouldn't-
cost?
I think Rolex is great. I think they look wonderful.
Yeah.
I would never buy one because I'm going to break it.
Yeah. When I saw that
yeah.
they were like $4,000 or more.
Yeah.
$5,000
I'm
or
going
more,
to break it.
I was like, I struggled to pay $500 for my Apple Watch. Why would I spend 10 times
Yeah.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. But, you know, I think that with digital advertising,
Mhm.
you have a lot more targeting. I can specify
Right.
this certain, you know,
It's
wealth
only,
class.
Yeah, it's only going to go to people who spend this much on.
Yeah,
this.
show me
Yeah.
people who've, you know, purchased online in the last 3 months. Show
Mhm.
me people who have a salary over $200,000 a year.
Right.
Show me people who have these certain titles: executive, owner, manager.
Those are the type that
Now
you
all of a
probably
sudden,
want to go after.
my money is way better spent because
Mhm.
I'm only showing the ad to the people who are likely to convert.
Right.
Right now, sure, the Rolex, the billboards worked on me enough to have me go look it up.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. The other side of that coin is one thing Rolex did with that is even for people who can't afford it, it still gave it that high bar of status.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
So again, branding, right?
Yeah.
From a brand awareness standpoint, I was like, oh, Rolex. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Why am I seeing Rolex, you know, ads every day or whatever, billboards every day? And so it did make me go do some research, which is good because maybe it planted the seed in my head that, oh, maybe if I
Maybe
was ever
one
that
day.
rich, I could get one of these.
And maybe that's all they're trying to do.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it's a long game for them.
And for a lot, I think that is one of those things. It's kind of a social status product, right? Like it's kind
Exactly.
of like a fancy car, like a Lexus or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. And so I think that,
I mean, you say fancy watch, people say what, like a Rolex?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And I'll
exactly
be like,
right.
no, like a Timex.
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
Hey man, I like my Timex I had when I was a kid.
Yeah. Hey, it was good. I had times myself running around trees so fast.
Yeah, I think digital marketing is also easily updated. Is easily updatable to stay relevant. Right?
Yes. You can't. We talked about it with the billboard. You're not going to be able to just, you know, wipe it down and wipe it. And well, I guess now you can because there's digital billboards.
Hey,
But
that's right. But that's
I
because
think
this
that-
conversation. You're seeing this shift, right?
I need to stop talking. 'cause
No,
I
dude,
don't
hey man, you are hitting it on the money. Because and you know what? Let's just take it from there. Let's
Okay.
move from that.
Let's just transition into
because
the,
I think traditional to digital, that is a perfect example of the transition. that
yeah,
we're
you're
seeing.
right. It really is that digital billboard
Digital billboards.
because it is the transition.
It is. It's the best example.
I agree.
Because it's like billboards are such the traditional item,
Yeah.
right? And I think digital billboards are like this evolution of that.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah, I really feel strongly that there isn't one or the other.
no, yeah, I mean, and you'll
I
also
think-
notice there's not as many digital billboards as are traditional billboards.
Right.
It's like, okay, there's a scarce.
And I think in time, technology, you'll see it happen. You'll
I think
see
eventually
we'll see
they'll all
another
be-
shift.
I think they'll all eventually be replaced.
I think at some point it's going to be so targeted. It's going to know you're coming before you get to the ad, and it'll scan all your phones before, like in traffic. And you know
You're
what I mean?
100% right.
It's gonna
I mean,
target
okay, good
ads.
example for people that don't know this, because I think
Yeah.
for some digital advertising, they're aware of it, but they don't realize how much of targeting ability
Right.
you have.
Oh man,
For example,
it's ridiculous.
if I wanted to, you know, get someone to come to my gym that I owned,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to say, show me people who are fit, show me people who are fat, show me
Right.
people who are unhealthy or healthy. Those are not things that you can target by.
No.
But what I can do is say, show me people who have, in the last 3 months, visited a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a physical therapist.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
And I started building these attributes of the type of people
that.
who would also care about physical fitness,
Yeah.
right? Because they clearly care about their health. They go see a massage therapist.
Right.
They go
They're
see
going
a,
to do these things.
right?
Well,
Maybe they're-
and they're already spending money on their health.
Mhm. And not only can you say that they just visited that, you can say, hey, show me people. For example, let's say that Smoothie King.
Yeah.
Use Smoothie King as an example. Smoothie King knows that the type of clients that buy smoothies are probably health people, right?
Mostly.
Most people. Now,
Yeah.
I like a good old Smoothie King just because it's good.
Yeah.
And not all of them are very healthy when you
No,
start
no,
to
no,
get
no,
to it.
no.
But
The good ones are.
they know
well,
that healthier, like the
Yeah.
angel food.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good.
I would say the good ones.
Yeah,
'cause
the
they're
good
all
ones.
good.
They're all
but
good.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that they could do is say, hey, show me people
Mm-hmm.
who have visited or checked in to 9 Round or Planet Fitness in Tomball, Texas within the last 30 days.
Yeah.
I can target that specifically.
Oh, yeah.
So now what happens is not only can I target that, I can say when they're in 5 miles from my
Mhm.
business, show them this ad.
Yep.
what the heck?
And I know it works like that because how many times I told you I get that McDonald's ad every time I'm
Yes,
sitting
you
at that
do.
intersection.
Proximity
And I'm like,
advertising.
This is nuts.
Whataburger. Well,
Mhm.
I don't know how they do it, but right when I'm feeling healthy, I get a free Whataburger, and I'm like,
Hey,
no,
you've been going to the gym so
How do
much
you
lately.
know?
We need you back.
Come back, fatty.
Come back, fatty.
So there is
Yeah.
such a huge power in targeting of digital marketing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I love about digital billboards, you know, for those of you that don't know, like what all capabilities you have as an advertiser, you can change that ad as often as you want.
Absolutely.
Which means we're given the first opportunity to do this A/B testing, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, we've been running that ad for a week and we didn't see the
Yeah.
return we wanted, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe your message needs to change each
Or
week.
you alternate it in rush hour each day. And
That's
you
right.
See how your performance was.
A company that does a good job about this, and I love this because this is taking one more attribute, is Windex. No, not Windex. Rain-X,
Rain-X.
the windshield wiper
Oh yeah, yeah,
company.
yeah.
They can actually run ads
Mm-hmm.
based on when it's raining outside.
Weather app. Yeah,
So using weather data,
yeah,
when you're driving down the road, hey, time for new windshield wipers?
yeah.
Rain-X. That's it.
And let me tell you
And it's
this:
like, brr, brr,
if your stuff
That's-
was messing up in the moment, you're going. Yeah,
Yep, going to go get those
Yeah.
because you're thinking, okay, I need them, right?
yeah.
And so they're showing it to you when you are most likely to be considering that purchase.
And that's
just-
scary targeting, man. Like you're not in control of any of the decisions you make anymore.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
So- I like it. Like I nerd out about this stuff.
I know. I think it's really cool just knowing that we can take this data and use it to create this circle of thing. And like,
Exactly.
I love this stuff.
So-
I've always loved marketing, even since watching those
so
commercials
fun.
as a little kid.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just so good.
somehow I knew one day I was going to grow up to make those commercials.
Yeah, I just-
yeah.
I enjoy a good marketing campaign,
I
even
do
if I
too.
know they get me. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you got me good.
Sometimes it's like props, like
Nice,
touche,
clever,
yeah, well done.
And
Yeah.
I've told businesses that before. I'm like, hey, good job.
Good job.
Good
You-
job,
You
you.
got me on this.
That was good. So we're going to talk about how to be
up to the digital code.
up to the digital code, right? If we're moving out of traditional into digital, we're going to talk about that. I also want to make sure that we kind of at least a little bit hint on how you can bridge the two.
Yes.
So I think there's some good things you can do there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say the first and the thing that we will always talk about at Beefy Marketing is having a good website.
You have to.
What was the thing that you mentioned earlier? Was it you or John that
At
said that at lunch?
Oh, it was John. And what did he say? Because it was so good.
It
and
was
I thought,
so good. I
Write
think
that
he
down
said-
and use it on your podcast.
I think he said, just because my website,
Okay, my website isn't making me money, but it is losing me money.
yes.
Something to that effect.
So that, yeah, it was better.
It was
but it was
better,
basically
that's
that.
close. Yeah.
Basically, the idea is a lot of times people will say, I don't see the value in a nice website because I don't think it's going to make me money.
Right.
However,
Mhm.
if you don't have a nice website,
It could lose you.
it could definitely cost you money. 100%.
Because you may have some people who their perspective of what you have out there is cheap
There's a restaurant
or
in town.
not well done.
I won't say their name.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant in town who I had a negative experience a few years ago with their lunch menu.
I got you.
So I've never been back.
Okay.
Their Yelp reviews reflect that. They're
Mhm.
2.5 stars, 3 stars maybe. So again, I've never been back.
Yeah.
Well, the other day somebody mentioned that they had good breakfast tacos. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it a go. Right?
Yeah. I'm weary to go back to this place and pay
But-
money for crap food.
Crap
again,
food, but I'll
all
give it a go.
Yeah.
And I had a great experience for breakfast.
Okay.
And then I went back with a friend
Mhm.
to see, okay, will this be
Well,
Will it be
breakfast was
consistent?
good. Was it a fluke?
Was it fluke? Went back, good again. I made it a point to go talk to the manager and say,
Yeah.
you guys really got to spend some time on your online reviews because for the last 3 years I've not been here because
I didn't think it was very good.
perception's
and
reality,
Yeah. Neither
right?
did anybody else apparently.
the reviews clearly show that what I felt was true.
Right.
You guys have got to do something
See-
about that. You have an image issue.
Right. One bad review, it can hurt you.
Mhm.
Consistent bad reviews kill you.
And what happens is businesses, I think most businesses realize how important it is to have better reviews,
Yeah.
but they don't invest in getting better reviews.
Right. Because it does take time and effort to
Yeah.
get done.
I mean, it's
yeah.
got to, you have to have an approach to it. It's just like anything, right?
Mhm.
It's like,
Well,
well,
if we go and just fill out a bunch of reviews, one day they're all bad, the next day they're all good, and
Yeah.
worded not, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look organic.
And I think the other thing too is like people are like, oh, well, we do care about reviews. And it's like, okay, well, what is your strategy to get them? Well, we tell people if you had a good experience, write us a review. It's like, but was that enough?
That was enough. No,
it wasn't enough.
You need to give them something,
right? Like pull them
free
into
appetizer for giving us a good review,
or at least put them into a marketing automation that kind of says, hey, here's an easy way to go leave us a review.
Yeah,
right. When you just tell me to leave a review, you're asking me
to go
figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Find your link.
No, you need to
give them a link. Give me a link. That's one of the
go here and review. Yeah.
There's a good example of bridging traditional and digital.
Absolutely.
We could do a traditional postcard or, like a little square card, like a little business card and put a QR code on it.
Yep.
That makes it really easy for someone to scan it.
You see that a lot these days.
Well, I'd say middle of COVID, as restaurants started opening back up and everyone was afraid to have, paper menus.
There was a code.
Hey, there's a QR code at the table, scan it, our menu's there. And I've seen a lot of restaurants keep to that.
I've seen them do that very well, and I've seen it done very badly. And the ones who did it badly aren't still doing it, and they may not. I'm not going to put anything on anybody, but I would say the ones who implemented that and then are still doing it are thriving more so than they were.
And here's my thought on that. I am still, I guess because I'm older, I still like to have that paper menu that I can hold and it's tangible and flip it. But what happens is maybe as a restaurant, I don't need to buy as many of those menus, right?
Ooh.
Maybe I have 40 of them. And if someone asks, absolutely, here you go. Love to give you a menu.
Yeah.
Or you can use our QR code at the table.
Because most likely everyone's going to have their phone in their hand and not mind scanning the QR code.
That's right.
Especially we've been kind of trained to
now
do
we're
it
just
this
doing
way.
it.
And that's another thing to remember in marketing. You're training people how to act.
Absolutely. You're right. I mean, just as the Apple Watch, the iPhone conversation from the beginning,
100%.
we have been, this is, shaped to make the purchase decisions, to go get the cereal for your kids that you liked when you were a kid, the advertising that you saw. And so I think that what is so great about, hey, limited amount of paper menus and then the rest QR is one of the things that I think restaurants struggle with the most is as their menu changes, as their menu evolves, a traditional menu requires
a reprint.
The worst thing, either a reprint, which they might not do, or the stupid crossing it out, which I hate. I think that's the trashiest thing. And there are probably plenty of restaurants out there that are guilty of this.
It almost looks like we're not surfing this anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I always take it.
This is hard to make. So I do think that, being able to bridge both of that, that traditional, like we're still going to have paper because we realize that there are customers that want that, but maybe we don't print as many, which means when we reprint, it's not as expensive to do so.
So you're lowering your costs there.
And that digital menu can be updated on the fly.
That's the one you're printing.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the digital one, you literally just, if you have a change in the back of house right now, you could update it online and it's reflected at everybody sitting at the table. Yep. So no one's sitting at the table looking at a menu and you've got 3 items on that menu. I hate going to a restaurant and them saying,
ordering,
we don't have that. We don't have that.
We
we're out
haven't
of that.
had that forever.
We haven't had it forever. And it's like, then get it off your menu for God's sake.
And don't put it on there.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I think that is also like that goes hand in hand with a good website. When you have a website, it goes back to that digital versus traditional billboard. A website can be updated instantly, which means when you send someone to that site, it should have the latest up-to-date information about what it is that you do.
And I would like to take a second, climb up on my soapbox.
Do it.
And talk about going to a website and finding outdated information.
Equally as important.
I will leave the website and probably not make a purchase.
Same.
Because this is 2 years old. Are you guys even still a business?
That's right. And I think that's
important.
You
could be thriving.
And what do you hear from clients when you try to sell them a website? And again, I'm not bashing any businesses out there. I'm just talking about the truth that we have seen every day.
Well, my cousin did it for me.
I don't need to keep it. Nothing really changes about anything that we're doing.
Nothing
I don't need
changes
to update
on it. I don't need updates.
It's like, yeah, you do.
Well, you go ahead and just put up your...
It's misspelled. Your menu's not accurate.
Your website from 6 months ago is not up to date.
That's right.
Mechanically.
100%. There's updates happening in the back end. There's database changes. There's speed changes.
It's not secure. One of the two.
Most websites do not have that little lock at the top.
And there are people who will not visit a website that doesn't have one.
Oh, I've had customers before where I forgot to add the SSL certificate, call me and say, hey, our website's not secure. I'm like, oh, I'll get it fixed right this second.
Yeah.
Like to the point now, we've edited our process to make sure that one of our checklists is
no, I remember
SSL
you got
certificate.
That call that one day. I think I fixed it while you were driving.
You probably. Oh, it was. Yeah, we were driving to Fort Worth.
Yes, that was what that was.
For that show, and it was like, oh yeah, let's fix that right away. And it was an easy fix, right?
Oh yeah.
but it's important.
No, because I remember you're like, this is going to take me. I was like, I know web design.
Yeah. Another way to be relevant digitally is citation building.
Absolutely. We've talked about this I think we called it link building last time.
Yeah, link building.
But it's the same thing, basically.
Yeah. I mean, and the big part of it is creating local listings. Like that's another word people use, like local listing. Making sure that your information is up to date across a variety of platforms.
Right.
You would be surprised how many businesses out there, if you Google their name, how much mismatched information there is.
Yeah,
on Yelp, it's got a phone number, and Google's got a different. You're talking about that crawfish company.
Yeah, the crawfish company at lunch that we were talking about. That their Google issue right now is that it says they're permanently closed,
but they're not.
They're definitely, they
closed.
Just built a whole new addition to their restaurant. Yeah.
That right there is the importance of your local listing, your citations, right? Like making sure that all the information about you and your business on the internet is up to date, is correct. Is it the right phone number?
And even from a sales perspective, do you have the right salesman phone number out there? Because there are people calling the wrong number, and maybe it's a discontinued number at this point.
That's right.
Because it was a business line for a specific person that you decided to change the number on.
Same thing with emails, addresses. Like just recently, we realized that our Facebook address was wrong.
Yes, I remember that.
And that was a royal pain in the butt because what was happening is we were trying to tag like ourselves at Beefy Marketing.
Right.
And it was pulling up an old address. And I was like, why is this happening?
Why is that? Yeah.
Like our Google listing's right. This is right. That's right. It's because we had forgot to update it on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
It's so important to make sure that when you're building citations, you're submitting your business to all these local directories, search engines know when, how, and where to find your business.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge.
It is huge.
Because if I see a company's permanently out of business, like that crawfish place, I might just go ahead and look for the next crawfish place.
Absolutely.
Because even though you might have told me, oh, yeah, you need to try that place, I'm going to be like, well, Google says they're out of business.
And where it is, there's not really a whole lot else around it. So you would have to kind of go out of your way
to check it out.
And so, yeah.
It's like, no, never mind. I'm going to just look up the place that says they are open.
Yep.
Now, fortunately for crawfish companies, they're not struggling.
You're going to sell crawfish.
Smell it out.
Yeah, you're going to sell crawfish.
You know, and you can also think of citation building, you know, similar to link building, like we talked about in our SEO conversations.
I think so too. You want your website or your web links on other websites.
Yeah, pointing back to your website, your email, your phone number, your address.
Right.
Because it's just giving Google power to go, okay, this is a legitimate company. It's majorly impactful for SEO.
I wanted to say one quick way to make this happen if you don't know how to get your stuff in a website like that, build a directory site.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a foam company, build a foam company directoryusa.com.
Yeah. List your company
yours
and every other competitors.
Else. But then you've got a list of all your competitors.
Like, it's like, who cares?
Marketing data can be multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that.
I was actually going to create a whole website that was like a list of like a wedding venue directory.
Yeah.
Looking for a wedding venue. Here's every wedding venue all across the country. The value for me was I was going to rank for every wedding venue keyword. You know, so it's value for me and the companies I'm providing value to. Right. And so there's a lot of great things about that. That's a good idea. Yeah. You can also use websites like, I think it's moz.com/local.
So you got to find
and it'll help you submit your website to all the different directories that are out there. Because there are so many depending on your industry. I mean, there's websites specifically to realtors. There's websites specifically to lawyers and medical companies. And, you know, same thing for the marketing space. You know, there's different places for that. We've talked about reviews already, but I think that kind of bring that back up. You know?
We went through that. You know, the first thing that you do when you're trying to decide to go where to eat, what do? You pull open your app.
Yeah, I open Yelp every single time.
I'm the map guy. I want to know what's around me.
Yeah,
I want to know what's near me. Yelp, this might take me out of my way.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want.
But I'm a big on the path.
Yeah, it's fair.
Stopper.
Yeah.
You know?
And what happens when you see a bad review?
When I see a bad review, I don't go eat there.
Yep. Which is exactly what I said with my situation.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah, we kind of went over that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly right. And I think that, you know, kind of just a, you know, recap there is like, you have got to take a proactive approach to not only quote unquote soliciting for positive reviews, but okay, this is a really important topic and I'll cover it briefly because I think we're going to do a whole episode about this.
Okay.
But one of the things that businesses struggle with when it comes to review reputation management is that for so long they don't focus on it. And then all of a sudden they listen to a podcast episode like this and they say,
it's the most important thing ever.
We need to do it. It's okay right now. And what happens is they send out 100 emails to 100 of their customers and ask them to go straight to Google and leave a review. But here's the problem there, John.
Yeah.
They don't know that 40 of those customers, for some reason over the last year, are pissed off with them.
Right.
Maybe they just felt unheard or they felt like you've not talked to them recently.
Okay, I got you. You don't want to just ask everybody.
That's right. Because what happens now is let's just say that out of those 100 people, only 20 review, and let's say that 15 of them are the people that you pissed off.
Mad. Yeah.
Well, you just got 15 bad reviews and 5 good reviews. Yeah. What happened to your reviews?
It went down.
It might have gone down. You're like, what the hell? Like, and then you're thinking, that guy's an idiot. He told me to get more reviews, and look what happened. Here's the difference.
Yeah.
When you use a review or reputation management software, or you work with an agency like ours, we have tools that kind of gate that. And let me talk about that, because there are some legal implications.
Right.
We can't tell people not to go leave a bad review.
Yeah.
Okay. But what we can do is we can put what's called like an NPS, or a net promoter score. Let's just call it, gate between the person's experience and the person's review.
I got you.
And so what that looks like is I'll send an email to you and say, hey, John, would you mind letting me know how, you feel about our experience?
Sure.
And there's like a little circles of 1 through 10.
Yeah.
And if you put anything below a 6, it's going to trigger my system to send you an email that says, hey, John, let's have a conversation to see what we can do better.
Wrong. Well, what I like about that, not only from trying to rig the numbers.
Yeah, because we don't know.
You can't just do that.
That's right.
You have to actually meet people and solve problems.
That's 100% accurate.
What was your pain point? Why were you so mad at my company?
What can we do to be better?
I hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't even us.
Like,
here's a free app.
Yeah,
Sorry you had a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry it took a little longer to get out than usual.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times those people can go back and, if they did go to Google, because at that point, the way this software works is it'll get that email that says, hey, how did you feel?
Yeah.
And they're still in kind of smaller font that says, hey, if you'd like to leave us a review, you can.
Right.
But the focal is about your experience.
Right.
So that we can kind of, again, field some of those, responses, and we can hopefully do something about it.
Right.
Now, as soon as you review higher than, say, a 7 to 10, I'm going to send you another email that says, hey, thank you so much for sharing your experience with me. Would you mind leaving me a review on Google?
Because you had such a good time, you would be the perfect person to leave me a review. Right. Now, you're not. Okay, I got you. You're not forcing things.
No.
But
it's just like that targeted advertising.
It's a gatekeeper, like you were saying.
Let me not ask you to go leave me a review if you're pissed off.
Yeah. You go this way. You go over here.
Hey, you like me. Please leave me a good review.
You come on.
Let's figure out what we can do to make your experience
Let's take
better.
you back to the bar room and see if we can.
Yeah, make this right.
Yeah.
An appetizer, another drink,
Yeah.
Fixing a bad customer service experience.
But that helps you be better as a restaurant or even as a company, no matter what you're doing. It helps you be better.
Yeah.
Because one, you're finding where your customer is upset with you and how to alleviate that.
Yeah. I'd say too, if you are focused on reviews or you think you're doing a great job with Google reviews currently, or whatever your review strategy is, if you're not responding to your reviews, you're equally in a bad position. Even
Like
if they're
website
even if they're all
thing,
good reviews, you still need to be letting those people know, like, hey, thank you so much for sharing that experience.
I think even more so, yes, you should probably address all bad reviews.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But all good reviews, you should
address as well.
Here's 10% discount. Same thing that you would do for the bad experience, you do for the good experience.
That's right, because they had a good experience. What does that mean?
They're gonna
more
come back.
apt likely to return, and maybe they'll bring a friend next time.
Right, and so you give them a free app coupon, and maybe you gave away a $7 thing.
Yeah,
but they bought a meal.
That's right, and then hopefully they brought some friends and family members.
And it wasn't.
It totally made up for the free app.
Yeah,
right. So I think that with reviews, that's important. I also think that the frequency in which you've gotten reviews. A lot of companies are like, oh yeah, I got 4 stars on Google. And it's like,
but
your last review was 6 years ago. Are you still good? Nobody knows. The last review you got was 6 years ago. Did the ownership change and now you just suck, but you still are leveraging the old owners?
Especially with a restaurant, that could be
so true, because there's such high turnover, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the medical space. A lot of times doctors' practices get passed on to the younger doctor or whatever. So I think that that's really important to talk about when we talk about reviews and how important it is to your overall digital strategy. Video.
Video.
This is probably one of the biggest and best ways that you can kind of embrace the change of digital.
Well, I agree, because not only, can they hear what you're saying, you can give them visuals to create an experience.
Yeah. It's storytelling.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's all it is.
I think they say a photo is worth 1,000 words, right? Like, what is a video worth?
Yeah.
Right. It's so compelling whenever you can experience it, right?
Yeah.
Because people buy from people, and there's a level of authenticity that you get out of a video that you aren't going to catch in just a traditional ad
or in a print ad.
Perfect example, because we're talking about the combination of both, right? right now we're working on this annual report for a local organization.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they do in their annual report every year is feature local businesses in the community that have benefited from their services. Okay. And typically what they do is they put a little photo of their business.
Right.
And they put like a few sentences describing what their experience was like.
Right. Yeah.
And so this year, since we're designing it, I said, hey, I've got an idea. What do you guys think about putting a QR code at the bottom of every single one of these people's stories and saying, to learn more about this business, to learn more about Beefy Marketing, to learn more about, OMG Event Co., scan this QR code.
And then it pops up a video.
And it watches a video.
Oh, I love it.
Now, you're not hearing me talk about how good I am. You're hearing my customer tell you
about me,
how their experience was with us.
I think that's twofold. One, your customer felt strongly enough to sit down and record a video about their experience. That says a lot about you already.
And what they say about you is going to be way better than what you can make up.
And two, it's someone else's words about you. It's not your own, I am so great.
That's right.
I think of the Simpsons episode where Bart's running down the hall beating pans. I'm so great. It's like, I think of that about myself all the time. I'm so great.
I genuinely think that, and that's what I told them, when I said, hey, I want to be a part of this project. I said, this year I want, instead of sentences that you guys have come up with about your people, I want as many testimonials in this from them.
Authenticity is such a big thing.
Especially in the world of digital.
Especially in the digital, because it's easy deep fake.
Yeah.
Let's go there since we're talking about video.
Yeah.
You can fake anything on the internet. You can fake anything in the digital age.
Yep.
I've seen Tupac live on stage in the last couple years. You can fake anything. Crazy. It's a hologram. Nuts.
Yeah.
So, authenticity.
Yeah, and I'd say video, even though it can be faked, I think video is one of the more authentic ways.
It's still powerful.
Like me posting a logo and a sentence, I don't know that because reviews on people's websites is a good example.
Yeah.
If you don't see that it's from a third-party site like Google where it's quote-unquote vetted or from a third-party source, a lot of companies have what they call first-party reviews, which is ones that you literally just type out and put on your website.
Right.
I don't know that that's real.
Yeah.
There's nowhere on the internet to validate that.
Right. And that's where I'm getting at. Yeah.
And I think that with video, to some extent, I think people go, oh, that's Tommy with Tommy Bahamas.
Well,
whatever.
Even if I check none of the facts, it gives me facts to check. This is so-and-so with this business. I can go over there and ask this guy. Just sometimes the transparency of, go ask them. That non, just no fear and go ask them. Is enough to, all right, well, they seem legit enough to me, depending on the purchase or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Video, I think most people prefer video just in general anyways.
We love video. I mean, YouTube, number 2 search engine.
And now TikTok and Instagram Reels. Instagram trying to cheat them by doing Instagram Reels. It just goes to show you how, I think it was Instagram trying not to go traditional by the wayside. You know what I mean? They're trying to stay relevant and be in the digital age. That's right. And even you're seeing YouTube. I don't remember what their feature's called, but they're getting shorts. Is that what it's called? Yeah. They realize that short form video.
I know. I'm about to start getting into those real heavily here.
I was trying to go through my app to quickly see how much time I spend on TikTok, but I can never remember how to actually get to it. Here, screen time.
Setting screen time. Yeah.
Screen time, apps. I'm going to just jump through here. And I want to see how much time I've spent.
Let's see.
Okay, so here is my daily average. Oh my gosh. My average time spent on TikTok in a day. Oh, I am shamed. This is for shame. TikTok, 4 hours. Instagram, 3 hours. Messages, 2 hours. Facebook, 1 hour. Do you see the hierarchy of the content types too?
Yeah.
TikTok, video. Instagram now, video. Messages, text. Okay, that is what it is. Facebook, video, but not as much. The hierarchy there of the type of apps that I'm spending my time in.
So, it looks like I'm on TikTok and Instagram and then playing my new baseball game for the most part.
I do feel ashamed of this, but it just goes to show how important video is, right? Like, video is a format that I think we're all familiar with, we're comfortable with, we enjoy. It goes back to like that, for us at least, it goes back to that old age of like a quick 30-second commercial, a quick 60-second commercial.
Yeah.
We're feeling that in the apps like TikTok.
Yeah.
We're seeing something short, we also realized that people's attention spans is not what it used to be. And if you can capture my attention in 30 to 60 seconds in a format like a video, you're able to tell a lot in a small amount of time.
Yep.
You can't get that in just a graphic. You can't get that on a billboard.
No.
You can't communicate as much in the amount of time.
You can communicate an entire page worth of written word in 1 second of video.
Yeah. Also live. Oh, dude.
Oh, going live. That's where it removes that deep fake, you know, it feels fake thing completely because it's live.
And it's interactive.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that
I can pull up what you're talking about. And how much do people love being on TV? So when you, this is so-and-so's comment, they're like, oh my God, I love that.
Oh, yeah,
I love that.
I do
they
too.
mentioned me.
Even if there's somebody, and that's the fun thing about live is a lot of these celebrities are like, oh, hey, I do see you there. And you're like, they
see
said
me.
my name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I think we're all looking for validation. We're all looking to be heard.
Exactly.
And social media and live video,
they're facets
to do it
there. Yeah.
Right. Lastly, social media. And I think we've kind of already covered this, but
I've got one more stat here on video.
Oh, yeah.
83% of people prefer to watch videos to access instructional information.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that just goes to show.
Learning stuff. I don't want to read it from a book. I don't want to listen to a book. I want to watch a video on it and then do it. I'm a visual learner.
People ask me all the time, like, Andrew, how did you learn all this? YouTube University.
YouTube University.
Like, seriously.
Like, we got to make that a shirt.
We do. We both have. Do you have a college degree, right?
Yeah.
In graphic design, web design? Something like that?
Media.
Oh, fancy.
Fancy.
Fancy. Meanwhile, my degree is worthless. My bachelor's in music production and over here producing podcasts.
Hey, it's kind of
same thing.
Hey, if you want me to start writing songs,
should I sing?
You want me to write songs
musical,
for you?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Right.
I'll just produce the songs.
There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right.
No, you're right. I mean, for us, like we have gone through this transition where video is such a huge part of our lives.
It is.
It taught me most of the things that I know about what I do. And honestly, it's still to this day, if I'm stuck, like when we built this brand new podcast studio, what did I do? I pulled up like 50 videos, narrowed it down to like 5. And I said, John, I like this from this video.
Yeah, watch
like
these 5 videos and then let's build something.
And we took the elements from each of these people,
and the stuff that we needed for our space. That's what I love about what we do here is we look at like the most baller,
it's like
top of the line. And then we go, okay, what's practical?
How can we do that?
Yeah.
We didn't go cheap all the way around here. There's a couple expensive toys around
There's
here.
$1,000 worth of light behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what's so cool about video too is like it provides this level of accessibility, and exposure beyond our, I guess normal circle of influence or our
besides your regular circle or natural circle of influence.
And I hate to get like political or dark in this episode, but like the war in Ukraine happening right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing through video the first time really in what I would consider American history.
Yeah.
Where we have a front row seat to a pretty crazy set of events that are happening around the world.
We've had this happen before.
Yeah.
But we haven't been, the war hasn't started on social media.
That's
like
right.
This one.
And
this one has been documented from the get-go, even 2 years ago. When
from a true POV perspective, right?
Yeah.
I remember Operation Enduring, Iraqi freedom.
There's
and all
been
that. There
some
was media
movies,
coverage and all that, but we're seeing people's TikTok videos.
I know we're not seeing like what was edited and put on the news. What I'm seeing on TikTok is guys from Ukraine, like they pulled up to some Russians and were, hey, do you need us to push you back to Russia?
Yeah, and you're like, oh my god,
it's crazy.
This is really unfolding.
If that's what it really said, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'd say all that to say that video is providing this level of access.
Yeah.
And exposure for people all around the world.
We want it.
I mean, I've discovered businesses and products and people that I would have never had the access to
if I hadn't had a video.
If there wouldn't have been this digital transition, right? Imagine everything you and I knew if there hadn't been this digital shift. Every decision we made, every opportunity we had would have only been impacted by the people around us.
You're right.
Which is scary to me because so it's scary to me for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
The biggest reason is that when we leave high school, we tend to kind of settle in our own new life.
Right. You kind of become an adult.
You're an adult. You have your family, like your immediate family. You have your spouse. You have your children. And maybe you have your job and the people that work at that job with you. Right.
Yeah.
And that is the case back then. It's the case now.
Yeah.
The difference is if we would be 20 years back in time in terms of technology, if everything was still traditional, we might not ever change jobs. We might not ever start a side hustle. We might not ever realize how important, things across the country and the world are to what we're doing.
If technology isn't where it was, I don't think we'd see small business booming like we do.
That's right.
I don't think we'd have the 50% of failure number because there wouldn't be that many open.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a lot of terrible that comes with digital. There's a lot of weird that comes with digital.
But that's every space.
That's right. And I think that personally, I think it's beautiful. Like, it is sad that like maybe we're not as connected as we used to be. But it's like, were we though? We were only connected in these small circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were closer. We talked and we hung out more. Us and our 30 friends.
Yeah.
Now we have access to 1 million friends around the world.
Right.
Right. You think about your favorite YouTubers, or your favorite TikTokers.
Yeah. And
I feel
one of mine is from India.
That's so cool.
I didn't even think about it. But yeah, one of my favorite guys that I would consider an influence that I look at and like, man, that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
He's from India.
You would have not had that experience.
I would have never seen his stuff if there wasn't the internet.
Yeah. I think from a culture perspective and from a relational experience in the big picture, man, that's friggin' beautiful.
It really is. It's beautiful. That's what I was thinking as you said that.
I don't really think about that,
but even for me, that's awesome. Like,
I mean, I'm not friends with these people that I follow, but I do feel like I have a connection to them in some weird way.
I can at least transfer creativity with them.
That's right.
And that for me is huge.
Never thought about it that way.
Because my brain, the way it works is like a pinboard. You throw something at it and it bing.
And I think most people's are.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of what we were designed to be, a ping pong table of ideas.
Digital is beautiful. It really is.
Traditional is as well.
Yeah. And with the hybrid combination,
I think that's why I titled it Traditional Marketing in the Digital Age.
Yeah.
Because I think traditional is changing. At one point, we'll be giving this talk and we'll be talking about traditional marketing and what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. And I think, there's so many things that are evolving. When you think about billboards, you think about digital billboards. When you think about postcards, you can now say, okay, hey, the 1,000 people that we're sending the audience to, let's also run ads at the same time to the same audience. You can mail
somebody a video now.
Yeah. Oh, those little cards.
That little card that has the video screen.
Those are so cool.
I just thought about that. That is the perfect juxtaposition of video and traditional. Yeah.
Yeah. How cool is that? Well, John, let's get to our hack of the day.
Let's do it. Oh.
Hacks! One of my favorite tools that I think you guys should know about, we've been using it Beefy probably for the last 3 or 4 years, which I think is, again, the perfect, combination of traditional and digital, is the fact that we're a marketing agency, and a lot of you businesses, transactions happen in a digital world, in a digital space, whether it's through email or text, maybe phone calls, which isn't technically digital, but it is. I think that it basically is, right? I don't know.
Depends on if you have an iPhone.
Yeah. If you're still using an Android, you are using traditional marketing.
That's analog.
Analog, baby.
I'm just kidding.
That was good. I like it. There's a great product out there called Handwritten.
Oh, yes.
Written is spelled WRYTTEN. So handwritten.com. And what they do is, this is funny because it's kind of like the mix up of all the things, traditional and digital and robots. So they actually have robots, no joke, that will handwrite a letter for you. You see what I'm saying here? This is so weird.
Oh, keep going.
The robots will handwrite a letter for you.
Yeah.
And then they will actually handwrite the address and the name of the recipient on the envelope. And then, I'm assuming humans and not robots, put a real stamp on it.
Wow.
And they mail it to your customer for you. And the way I've used this in my business, and I think the way that you guys could use it in your business to leverage traditional and digital, is like what John brought up earlier. When you personalize marketing, when you personalize your touch points, I think it starts to, again, feel more authentic. I think it starts to feel more personal. And so what we have been able to do is, when we bring on a new customer, we actually have them in this nice digital automation where it's like, hey, you got an email, we introduced you, we did our website onboarding, we launched your website. And then at the end, I have we call it an API key, which basically allows me to send data from this digital tool to another company.
Yep.
And I send them the info of my customer. So their name, their business name, the script of the letter I want to send out. So, dear Bobby, it was so great to work with you. I look forward to working on future projects together. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Signed, Andrew Brockenbush, right? And not only that, I can also ask Handwritten to throw a $10 Starbucks gift card in the envelope, for example.
Oh, nice.
And they've got a variety of different gift cards you can choose from, and you can choose the amounts. And what it does is they use that robot. It actually hand writes in the sense that it's not printed.
Yeah.
Truly, this robot holds a
really
pen.
holds a pen. And
So it's real ink on real paper.
Well,
And
so
they
is
mail
print.
that card on your... Yeah, I know. That's
Sorry,
true.
I'm just
Yes.
messing with
Okay,
you.
John.
I'm just messing with you. I know what you mean by real ink on
Fair,
real paper.
fair.
You mean traditional
Traditional.
ink
It's
on
all the
real
same.
paper. Wait, on traditional real paper.
They'll mail it on your behalf.
Yeah.
And what I love about that is my customers who would never expect to receive a card from me because I'm a digital company
Yeah.
get that touch point. And I think that for most people, that really personalizes the experience. They say, oh, wow, these guys are real.
Yeah.
They're not just a digital company.
Right.
They're not a scam.
They're real.
They're real people, right? They wrote me a card. I can see it with pen ink. I can see the little, mess ups. I can see the little smudges.
Yeah.
There's a stamp, the whole 9 yards. And I think that for me, that is my hack for the day. If you're looking to get started in this realm of connecting digital and traditional, still send your customers cards. Tell them thank you. Tell them you appreciate them. Let them know that you'd like to work with them on a new project or how, this new product that you've released, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do that to connect on a deeper level.
That's awesome.
I've got 1,000 more options for you guys, but that's the one for today. John,
Man,
this is a great conversation.
I love this one. And it sparked so many ideas for me.
Same. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Business Growth Hacks Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. To get more marketing tips and tricks, follow Beefy Marketing on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Beefy Marketing. And to take your business to the next level, check out our website at www.beefymarketing.com.